uncomfortable office chair be the root cause of your poor posture and pain? Now, as an executive mom, when you're juggling those Zoom calls, spreadsheets, family to-do lists, and chances are you're spending hours at your desk and in sitting in your chair. Now, you may have invested in a plush, ergonomic-looking office chair, thinking it would help you solve your back pain or your neck pain or your posture problems in general. But here's the truth: comfort doesn't always equal good uh, posture. So if you have a comfortable chair, it's an ergonomic chair, it's top of the range chair, but it does not mean that it will automatically manifest as good posture, right? So your seemingly cozy office chair might actually be the thing that's quietly messing up your posture, really, and increasing your pain. That is your spinal, that is neck, back, and nerve pain. Now, in today's video, let's talk about why that can happen and what can you really do about it. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their spinal, that is back and neck and nerve pain, despite low energy levels and brain fog. Now, I do this by giving you simple exercises, some easy lifestyle modification, tips and tricks, basically all the things that help me in my own pain and adrenal fatigue journey. Now, adrenal fatigue, for those of you who know, is a very wide term, but the two main symptoms I had were low energy levels and lack of focus. So those are the ones that I talk about because once you have these, it's very difficult, not impossible, but very difficult to manage your aches and pains. All right, so anyway, let's get into the topic for today because, hey, we're moms, busy people, right? So you don't have much spare time to listen to me just rambling on. So let's get into, can your comfortable office chair be the root cause of your poor posture and pain? So, okay. I have this, oops, the Zoom blanks it out, but if you see there's a chair behind me, this is one of the top of range chairs in the market. Doesn't get better than this, ergonomic chairs. Now, when I bought this chair, I had to sit down and make some adjustments to the chair because I know exactly what I wanted from my chair, and then I went on and made those adjustments. However, when the other people in my house, including my kids and husband, were using the chair, I realized that they were still sitting in a poor posture. Now, it is not necessary that when you have a good chair, it will put you in a good posture. Of course, it has those, um, like it has those adjustments that you can make to help you get into a good posture, but you still got to make that effort. Now, what exactly do I mean? Now, so oh yes, and sometimes you're sitting in a good chair, but you're sitting in a poor posture because you haven't adjusted your chair, and there may be some features in your chair that are actually pushing you towards a poor posture. Let me explain this further. Let me give you an example. So if you have those extra cushy seats, you can be encouraging slouching without realizing it. Now, most of these chairs have soft, deep seats. Now, they will feel good at first, but they can make your body go in a slouch position. So, this one has a good seat in it. Now, if I was sitting on the edge of the chair like this, after a while, when I want a back support, I will lean back, and this is my slouch posture. Okay, so what I do is I will always sit back so that my bottom is touching the junction of the back and the seat of the chair. So that angle right there, this is where my bottom sits. Now, this is one of the examples that I thought about. Um, Now, what will happen if you don't adjust this angle or the way you're sitting? Your pelvis basically tucks under, your spine collapses forward, your neck starts to jut out like this because when you slouch, you will jut your neck out. It can lead to stiffness, nerve irritation, even headaches and dizziness by the end of the day. So, for one thing is sit back into the chair. And of course, when you're sitting back into the chair, if your feet are hanging off, put them onto the footrest of the chair, or else if you don't have footrest, then put a little footstool under so your feet are not sort of hanging up in the air, but they are supported firmly on the floor, on the footrest, or on a stool. You want to choose a chair with a good lumbar support. Or if your chair has one of those lumbar supports, then adjust it in such a way that the lumbar curve that we have. So if this is your body, if this is the front and this is the back, this lumbar curve that you have, this should be supported by that chair. the lumbar support of the chair. If you have a regular chair or you feel that your chair doesn't have an adequate lumbar support, you can pick up, like you can get a lumbar roll. There was one that I used before I had this chair. This was pre-COVID. So I used this lumber roll. I will leave a link to the lumber roll that I have used, and I do recommend it to people in a blog that I have written on the same topic. Now, the blog is called Why Your Comfortable Office Chair Might Be Worsening Your Posture. I will leave a link in the description of this video for that blog. That blog also has a lot of other useful things like it has, I will come to the things that it has. However, it has a lot of information on the chair. It has an interesting video. If you have a non-ergonomic or a regular, say, a chair that you use with your dining table or a regular chair at home, how can you make it more ergonomic friendly? As in, how can you make it more comfortable so that you're sitting in a good posture? So that's a good video that you might want to watch. If you are on Instagram, the link to that blog will be in my bio. If you're a busy mom like me, cannot find it, no judgment, just message me or drop a comment below. I'll send it across to you. All right, so moving on. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is your armrests. Now, when you're resting your elbows on your armrest, but your armrests are very high. So if I was to elevate my armrests here, this is the position I'm in, right? But if I was to elevate them further, this is what happens. Do you see how my shoulders are not in a relaxed position, but they are up here? So basically, they are elevated more than what they should, where they should be sitting. When this happens, automatically you will start to slouch on your middle back. You will jut your head forwards, again, leading you towards a poor posture, pain, stiffness, etc., etc. So you want to make sure that your armrests are not sitting very high. And how would you know that? So when you are sitting, your elbows, so for example, if you look at me from the side, this angle of your arm to forearm, that is your elbow, should be approximately 90 degrees or a little bit more, but not less than 90, because when you're less than 90, do you see, again, the shoulders right up. Okay. So you don't want those crunch shoulders. So another thing I wanted to talk about is even if you have like the best chair ever, if you are doing too much sitting even in a good position, it's still too much sitting. It's going to impact your body. You want to incorporate some nice movement breaks. Get up, go get a glass of water, go get a a sheet from the printer, or I mean, whatever your work involves, right? However, if you cannot get up, say you are in a meeting, you want to shift your weight from one side to another, cross your legs, and if possible, do a posture reset. Again, the details are in the blog, or you can follow quick. There is a free video guide in the blog that I was talking about earlier. I will leave a link in the description of this video. It's a free video guide called Quick and Easy Desk-Based Exercises. So those are simple, easy exercises that can be done under 2 to 3 minutes while you're sitting at your desk or from the comfort of your home. It starts with exercises that start from your cervical spine down to your toes, including every joint on the way. So that is something that you want to incorporate to whatever kind of movement works for you. Try and do that throughout the day, especially if you have a job in which you are sitting for a long period of time. Alrighty, so that's all I have for you. If you have any questions, any comments, let me know. I'll be happy to address them for you. And if you have any specific questions to do with posture or sitting or any of the things that we've discussed today, you want me to do a video on any of the topics, let me know and I will address that for you. Alrighty, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.